Working at A&W was my first real taste of working for my father. 8, 9 years old, had to clear tables, had to keep up with the tables during noon hour, had not to break glasses, had to do a little bit of washing, put the glasses back in the mug cooler. I had to hear Dad running around, throwing burgers on the grill, coming out making milkshakes, basically staying out of his way so I didn't get ran over. Working at A&W was very interesting, coming from Sweet Home to Salem. That's my real first taste of work instead of mowing the lawn. Working with Dad was interesting. I learned a lot, and I apply a lot of those right now. He was very intense, and the job got done, and the customers kept coming back. So working for Dad was awesome. Hard. Dad was probably the toughest boss I had. It was never Dad, it was always Ken. That just made it easier in the restaurant area that I didn't have to deal with everybody says, oh, well, he's your dad. Working for Dad was interesting because he was customer service, customer service, customer service. I apply a lot of that these days that I learned from him. But every I was dotted, every T was crossed, and he makes no bones about that, and that's what he wanted, and that's what he got. I think the biggest thing that I remember was Mom coming down to work noon hour at Fireside A&W, and Dad cooking in the back, and them fighting in the chute. I need a mama burger. I'm getting your mama burger. It was comical, although everybody just kind of split the scene when things started flying between Mom and Dad. And then again, I saw the good side of that whole thing. They worked together well. Dad knew when to shut up and Mom knew when to say something. And it was a good mix. But she'd come down at noon hours, work the lunch rush, and that was only for a short time, but me being the oldest, it was fun. It was fun to see Mom and Dad work together. I liked the girls back then. I mean, who wouldn't? I got to work with all girls, and I was young, and he hired pretty girls. What can I say? Yes, I got fired for that too. That would be Hamburgers International. I spent too much time in the freezer, and the drink girl would open it up, and I'd flirt with her. She'd shut it. Dad warned me the first time. The second time, I got to take some time off. I got to shovel a lot of bark dust. I got to move a lot of rocks. I got to plant plants, shovel rocks. Being the oldest takes on some responsibility, and I'm learning that now more as a parent, watching my eldest. And I was busy a lot. So I learned to paint, I learned to shovel, I learned to spread bark dust, and it's taught me a lot. I hated it then, hated it. I wouldn't trade it for the world right now. Hard work, get up early, go home late, customer service, customer service, customer service, location, location, location. I heard this all my life. And I found it. I could not have done this without following in his footsteps. So I am my dad, and I will succeed. So because of him. I remember vaguely building Lancaster, A&W. I get to ride with him out there, show me the old barn that used to be on the site, carrying wood for him, watching the A&W being built, shoveling bark dust next to him, and he was a hard-working man. All day, all night, get up and do it all over again. So working next to him taught me everything I know. But if I had a nickel for every time someone said to me these days, Terry Robertson, you're Ken's son, aren't you? He was the best boss I ever had. If I had a nickel for every time, I wouldn't be doing this, I'd be fishing. Because everybody I talk to says he was the hardest boss I ever worked for, but he was the fairest. And he's the best boss I ever had. And it was true, even with me he was. And that's carried on through my life in the jobs that I've had, the crews that I've run for asphalt, or the crews I work here. We're all family. I demand this. Dad demanded that. And people stepped up because you were fair with them. Taught me a lot about that. I think I've said before, I would not be where I'm at without him. Yeah. Hard-working, dedicated, fair. Didn't like him a lot, and yet loved him to death. And he still to this day gives me a lot to think about. And to move me to that next level in my business, in my personal life, and would never trade it for the world.